All right, we are going to get wild with it today because it feels epically powerful and exhilarating to unleash one's own wild side because it is an expression of authenticity, freedom, and surrender that feels so good and nourishing in the body, while also reaffirming that our desire for pleasure and having sexual impulses are natural and worth having. And it's so important to cultivate and unleash our wildness because we are of the natural world, right? We are part of the ecology, part of our environment, not disconnected from it, right? By design, we are wild. And so, in today's society, or just any human civilization, there are rules and constraints for living life. And while I believe that they are totally necessary for the good of civilization and the good of humanity, there is a tremendous amount of stress and constraint that can really bog us down, right? We go to school and we sit at a desk and somebody's lecturing us and we got to play by the rules. Same thing at work, right? You sit at a desk, you got to listen to somebody and play by the rules, which is good to an extent, but that's why it's so important to unleash your wild side and really go and tap into the flow of your impulses. And it is especially important for women to have this wild expression in and outside of the bedroom because it is that exact expression that has been repressed with shame and guilt and fear, not to mention exploited in ugly ways. Instead of being celebrated as this like beautiful gift that each and every one of us has, this beauty to express in an authentic way and to make love in a way that feels deep and connected and in touch with our natural abilities. And so, the more a woman can let go and surrender to her breath, the sensations in her body, her impulses, the naturalness that's within inside her, the more she can access these orgasmic states, which are inherent to every woman. So the wild side is connected to this like flow state, right? When you're in nature, everything is happening by design, right? There is nothing that is going on that isn't out of place. It is by design. And so when we allow the impulse of sexuality to flow through the entire system, it feels really good and it feels true. And so I can attest to having a wild side practice being fun, invigorating, and I feel really alive doing it. But it does have its challenges, right? It brings up fear, it can bring up shame, and it's because it is really touching and opening up these deep core wounds that we have around being wild, right? So, a fear of who am I as this wild being when I'm not packaged up in this pretty, nice, polite, perfect bow? Will I be punished if I get wild and I allow myself to express in my most natural, true state? Um, do I look and sound crazy? So it's in this state of fear and questioning and repression where we find the contraction not only on a mental and an emotional basis, but in a physical basis. So feelings of pain, tightness in the body, specifically in the solar plexus and the sexual organs. And I believe a wild state is directly connected to sexual power. And so if there is a loss of wildness about a woman or even a man, but I'll talk about women specifically, if there is a loss of wildness, that is directly connected to a loss of sexual power. And what is power? Well, it's a form of energy. And so that form of energy is exquisitely undeniable, right? So if you're ever at a gathering and you see someone and they're just cool, calm, and collected with this sense of confidence that isn't arrogant, right? They are calm within themselves. They're not trying to overbear or be completely in control of any of the situation or of other people, right? They're cool and calm with themselves. And I believe it is because they have moments where they let themselves express their wild. For me, I'm very grounded and confident in places, but that is because I allow myself to have moments of unleashing and releasing and feeling wild. So, I'm going to share with you my wild side practice because it has helped me unleash inside of the bedroom and throughout the rest of my life. And it feels really satisfying to be wild from time to time and let the impulses go. So, you are going to start standing up and you're going to raise your arms above your head and feeling for this heavenly cosmic energy run through your hands. And I'd like to invite you to feel for the energies. It might take a few times to feel it, but if you do feel that energy coursing through your hands, feel free to have fun with it and play with that energy in between your hands. And this is a really beneficial practice for intuition and to feeling things outside of you connect with you, feeling for energy around your body and live inside you. Because these cosmic heavenly energies are always raining down and pouring their blessings among us. And then next, you are bring the hands down. Bring the awareness to the bottoms of your feet where they are touching the ground and feeling the earth's energy course up from the bottoms of your feet, running up through your body. And if there is an impulse to move in any way, go for it. I'd like to celebrate and encourage you to move in whatever way that feels pleasurable. This is really grounding and connected with earth energy. It's very beautiful. Next, you're going to move to pelvic breathing, standing hip width distance and the knees slightly bent. And the pelvis is nice and loose and open. And you're going to inhale and exhale in and out of your mouth. Inhale, pelvis comes forward. Exhale, pelvis tilts back. And you're going to really go for it. The breath work is going to go on for about 5 minutes. So even if you feel like you've hit a wall, I want to encourage you to keep going for it with as much effort as you possibly can. So if that means slowing down the breath by 10% or maybe switching to inhaling through the nose, exhaling out the mouth, especially as you're a beginner. Take care of yourself with the breathing, and it's okay to go a little slower or change it up a little bit. And so with this particular breathing, it's going to release cortical control and drop you deeper into the body. So helping you access that wild state in the body and releasing all of the controls and all of the thoughts and opinions that run through your mind. And this is also going to help out with loosening stagnation, pain, and tightness in the body. You are then going to carefully make your way to laying down, and you are going to wildly touch yourself. Go for it. Feel how real you are. This is very tangible to feel the body, feel your skin, run your fingers through your hair. Have fun. Have yourself a wild time here. And I want to invite you into feeling free, or what you think feeling free would feel like as if it is your inalienable right, and touch yourself in a way where you were never taught the right or wrong way of touching yourself. Go for it. Follow your impulses here. You are going to get onto your hands and knees in a tabletop position. Inhale, rock back. Exhale forward and howl or make any kind of sound that feels primal and true and authentic for you. Because adding a vocal component is key to cultivating our sexual power while also releasing stagnation and contraction in the body. I feel epically wild and a little silly doing this practice, but it feels so satisfying to me. Next, you're going to carefully flip onto your back and cup your vulva. And if it feels okay to turn yourself on, here's the permission. Go ahead and turn yourself on and feel the fluidity in your pelvis by snaking your pelvis around. Feel it fluid and open and free. Next, you are going to loop your sexual energy and turn on from your pelvis up the front of the body and then back down through the spine. So inhaling up from your pelvis through your sacrum, exhaling it back down. And then inhaling from the pelvis up to the lower belly, right below your navel, and then exhale it back down. Inhaling up from the pelvis to your solar plexus, exhale down the lower spine. Inhaling up to the heart, exhaling down the spine. Inhaling up to the throat. And when you get to that inhale to the throat, you're going to open your mouth and sound. Let out any sound that feels authentic to you in this moment. Exhaling it down the spine. Next, inhaling up to the third eye, exhaling down the brain, down the spine, and inhaling up to the crown, exhaling down the skull, down the spine, and back to your pelvic floor. This practice, you are going to feel the flow of energy throughout the body. And so, if there is this impulse and desire to move, whether that's like kick, scream, or move in hip circles, or move your arms around, get flowy with it, trust your impulse. Trust this desire that is innate within inside of you. Because it is an energizing practice, it is going to support this uninhibited, natural, wild state and support you in feeling alive in your body and in your spirit. So I promise you cannot get this practice wrong. I'd like to recommend doing this practice once a week or even a couple of times a week. If it makes sense in your schedule to do it once a month or once every 2 weeks, go for it. It's better than not doing it and not expressing your wild side at all. So, to finish off the practice, this is your choice to express your wildness in whatever fashion that feels good to you, whether that is moving into an ecstatic dance or acting like a wild animal or entering into an orgasmic state. The choice, the decision, and the power is yours. Thank you so much for hanging with me in this video. I'm Christiana Marie. I am a certified embodiment coach for women's pleasure and desire. I help women feel connected to themselves, their bodies, their sexuality as they cultivate sexual energy and creativity in their body and in the bedroom. And if you found this video helpful, please like it. Please share it if you feel as though somebody else could benefit. And if you are interested in signing up for my monthly newsletters, you can click the link down in this description below. All right, happy pleasuring, everybody. Take care.